So in this lecture, I'm going to show you the differences between Office 365 and the Excel spreadsheet on your desktop. Now, I know some of you are at home due to this remote learning, and you might not have Excel for your desktop available. When you come back to MMA, it will be available. You can go to IT and they should be able to download it for you. But if you do not have access to that, you are allowed to use Microsoft 365. And so that you just log in via the internet. You just type that into Google, log in with your MMA credentials, and it'll bring you up to this home page and you can start a new workbook. So it's pretty simple. The one thing I don't like about it is there's not as many features on this ribbon tab. This thing is called a ribbon. These are your tabs or menus, and you can click around and kind of explore what it has. It's pretty user friendly. You know, if you have used Microsoft Office before, you know, you can bold things and make letters bigger. It's pretty much very similar to that menu. And these carrots will allow you to get more options along with these little dots. You can get even more options. Anyways, so that's Microsoft 365. Now, if you do the desktop version, there's quite a few more options right at your fingertips. It's a little bit better program to use. The internet one's kind of nice because you can, everything's always going to be saved. It's saving like every couple seconds, which is sometimes annoying if you have a slow computer. But this one is also a really nice one, and you can use either. But I'm going to show my demos in Microsoft 365, just knowing that a lot of you probably have not installed the Excel desktop version. So, but before we get started on the first example, I wanted to just remind you that these are columns that are labeled with letters. Your rows are labeled in numbers. The boxes are called cells. The intersection is the address of this cell. And if you put a function in here, something will come out into this cell. And the data that you're inputting into these cells is called input data. And if you have a formula that you put in here and it gives you an amount or an answer, that is called, your output data. So we're going to go over that today, and also you can review this in your reading. So I think that's pretty it about what the functions are of these Excel spreadsheets. Let's go to this one and start on the first example, which you'll find in your modules. Oh, there it is. Week 1, Assignment 3, Example 1.2. So that you can find in your book. And so I'm getting all this information from the book. And you'll see on, I believe it's page, I have the ebook, which is only $8 if you want to get that from the internet. So the book goes over, the trajectory of a projectile. And it shows you basically that this is your input data, this is your output data. These, if you click on them, they turn into a formula that you can see up here. And it doesn't really tell you how to do that, but it just says that you're going to know how to do that, which is super important because a lot of the things you're going to find in your future careers is going to be based on an Excel spreadsheet. For example, when you're working in an engine room, a lot of the operating panels, if you look in the background of them, if you right click and take a look what actually is going on behind the buttons that you're pushing on your screen, it's a lot of times just an Excel spreadsheet. So knowing this stuff is gold. Alright, so it goes over that, and then let's see. Then there's some resistor problems, Kirchhoff laws, and all this stuff. You probably remember some of this from physics, but the really cool thing about this is that the problem we're going to do should, and it's right here, should help you solve all of these problems. So that's pretty cool. No calculator needed. In order to do that, we got to copy this, all these labels and all the inputs, and then I'm going to show you how to put your functions in, which these are your functions. So I'm going to put this over to the side and you can watch me do this. Feel free to follow along simultaneously, or you can just take notes and do this on your own and then send me the spreadsheet. It's up to you. I would do it at the same time so it's one and done, but I'm going to put this over to the side. You can also feel free to fast forward while I type all this stuff in, but I'm going to show you a couple tricks to make your life a little bit easier. So first, we're going to put our title, which is super important. Electrical circuit analysis. Okay, and I don't like extra lines here. And I already have it bold and super big. My next line, the known information, I don't want it as big. I don't want it to stick out as much. It's going to be known information. Source. So I know I got to write resistance R1, R2, and R3. I can actually, if my computer will let me, usually drag this little corner down. Boom, look at that. All I have to do now is change R1 to R2, R3. And then our solutions. This is not R1, but it's RT, resistance total. Voltage drop, V1. Current, this one's I1. Two. I'll just drop 2. Voltage drop 2. This is actually going to be 3. Okay, so I want to make these actually just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to highlight them all. Just go just a little bit bigger, and I like my solution, my subtitles to be a little bit darker. Making your spreadsheet look nice and neat is key, so it's easy to read and easy to use for future usage. Okay, so then our inputs are going to go here. You could even put inputs if you wanted to. You don't have to. And then my units are going to go here. Okay, this is actually going to be our outputs. So in the book it has 12, 10, 5, and 20. Okay, I'm actually going to give myself a little more space here. Resistance. So to find resistance, get my formula is ready for me to go, is B7, which is resistance 1, plus B8, which is resistance 2. So to make a formula, you put an equal sign, you click on B7 plus B8. Enter. Look at that. Alright, voltage drop is always going to be B6. enter. The current is going to be extra cell in here. So to delete a cell, I just noticed that I must have skipped a cell or put something extra in. So to delete a cell, you can just delete row, boom. Where were we? Current I1 should be B5. First you got to put your equals. B5 divided by B6. Enter. So this one's incorrect. This one should be B7 plus B8. There we go. That looks much better. Okay. Moving right along. So current 2 is going to be B5 divided by B12. So the total current is going to be B14 plus B15. The voltage drop is going to be B15 times B7, and voltage drop across V3 is going to be B15 times B8. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So now, if we change these, because we put all the formulas in, say we wanted to use a 24 volt system, put 24, bingo, changes all your numbers for you. So that's pretty cool. Put this back to where it was. I'm also going to make these a little bit bigger, just to keep it nice. And I'm going to make these bold. Make this bold. And then I want to do a redundancy check. So put that right here. Redundant check. We're going to do that by putting in V equals V1 plus V2 units here, volts. Our resistance equivalent. All of this again you can find in your book. That's going to be in ohms. And our current, volt divided by resistance equivalent. Okay, so to do this one, units, to do this one equals B17 plus B18. So B17 plus B18, enter. The equivalent, it's a tricky one, 1 divided by B6, inverse of B6, plus inverse of B12, and last but not least, G divided by this number, which equals that. This should be amps, my bad. Bold these, bold this. So this is what I'm looking for. At the end of the day, I want to make sure that when I get your Excel spreadsheet, I can put a number here, and I'm going to get different outputs, and they match my outputs. I'll give you a little artistic freedom to make this look how you want it to, but I would like it similar to this. Include labels, make sure it's easy to read. You can add a little color if you want to. Also, I would suggest, if you want to align these better, that makes a big difference. It makes it a little easier to read, but try to keep everything the same. So, other than that, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Again, weekdays during the normal school hours is the best time to get a hold of me. Other than that, good luck, have fun.